Whether or Not on WHAS 11 Plus is sponsored by Big O Tires.
Hi there, and welcome to a brand new episode of Weather or Not. It's our weekly weather streaming show right here on WHAS 11 Plus, sponsored by Big O Tires. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell, joined alongside by meteorologists Matt Willoughby, John Gordon, and Austin Evans. And this week, our one big thing is, of course, the severe weather that hit Kentuckiana Sunday evening into Sunday night, March 15th, into the early hours of March 16th. And we're going to dive into some of the maps, have some discussion about it, of course. But we do have a report from our very own Ian Hardwitt and photojournalist Gabby DeGeorge the day after the severe storms. They went out to areas in Shelby and Bullitt counties, actually, that were impacted by straight line winds. So let's take a look.
50-plus mile-per-hour winds peeled apart this home garage in Bullitt County. Homeowners worked through the morning to free the speedboat inside, bracing the building with its scraps, while parts of it swung in the tree next door. Up the road, dozens of trees toppled overnight.
No, I didn't know the tree was down until this morning.
Like Frances Breeden's.
I was just shocked that this big old thing blew down.
Shocked by the two trees blocking her neighbor's driveway and the missing shingles 5 houses over. To the east, Shelby County's Emergency Director Chris Spalding's thankful the storm only knocked 5 trees into the road. He found the county's outdoor sirens went out during the tornado warning.
Yes, we're going to have hiccups like this.
But he said engineers should have it fixed by the end of the day.
They've repaired what the issue was in dispatch. They have went out to the tower sites and corrected that.
Though he said the county's rave phone alerts have a 100% success rate so far, maybe too good.
Sometimes people will contact me saying they're getting too many alerts. That's a great thing in my eyes. But then have your NOAA weather radios.
Even the small hardware stores have them, about $35 for the small weather radio or $55 for the bigger ones.
Because sirens should be the last way you find out about a severe storm.
Just outside of downtown Shelbyville on 7th Street, the county is constructing a tornado shelter that can hold about 200 people. Spalding expects it to open by February of next year before March storms roll in.
But this time,
It could have been much worse, and so I'm thankful.
reporting in Bullitt and Shelby counties, Ian Hardwitt for WHAS 11 News on your side.
All right, and that was some of the damage that we saw in some areas of Kentuckiana. We also have some maps here. Those were the storm reports from March 15th, and you're seeing a lot of blue because that's wind reports that we got across the region. There were also, of course, some tornado reports, not necessarily in our area because that comes later when we do the surveys, right? And just a little bit of hail off to the west, but obviously wind was the big story with this system. And I have here overlaid the polygons from that night, just from NWS Louisville and NWS Indianapolis, because if I did all of them, it really bogs down our system. But you're seeing a lot of yellow, severe thunderstorm warnings. Most of us were under something Sunday evening into Sunday night as this rolled through. And the red polygons, obviously the tornado warnings that were issued that night as well. So surveys are still ongoing. We're recording this on Thursday. They did wrap up, sort of, the Grayson-Hardin-Meade County storm, saying that they found evidence of up to 110 mile-per-hour winds, which is a high-end EF1 tornado. The question is the track, because right now it's a very long track, and we very rarely have a storm that's on the ground for that long.
They said it was like 43 mile per hour track.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy with this. I don't know. All I know is the way to solve this controversy is airplanes and drones and helicopters. It will tell you if it's 1, 2, or 3 tornadoes. The rule states that if it's more than 2 mile break between point A and point B, it's a new tornado. So you have to go out there with aircraft and drones to figure out what's above out there. All I'll tell you is this. Mallory and I on Sunday night, we really focused on that one storm. The storm we were mentioning, look, we had Augusta 68 miles an hour there in Butler County, and then that got into Grayson, Hardin, and Meade, and we kept calling it the curly Q, which some people gave me jazz for, but it was a mesovortex. We're rotating coming in, and it was embedded inside of 2 lines. That was the storm. I know there was all these other tornado warnings, but we kept focusing on that one, and lo and behold.
That was the one, yeah, that with evidence of a tornado. Obviously, straight line winds elsewhere. They're still surveying some damage. The other tornado surveys that came back were outside of our viewing area, in areas of more so southern Kentucky, and that's what you're seeing on
So
the
the
map
straight
here.
line winds that Ian did, we mentioned on Sunday night, there was the pinkish, really nasty pink streamers. that were
Almost
there.
white pink.
Whitish pink, yes, fuchsia or something. And I said, 80-mile-an-hour winds, beware. It's almost like you said, that's a good idea. There is a warning, tornado warning, because you're getting 80-mile-an-hour winds.
I mean, you know, that's a low-end tornado right there.
Yeah,
So
trees when it's wet, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
they fall over.
The very, very soft ground with that type of wind and in a gust. It's not like it's building. It's not like it's sustained. It's going to go.
90% of what we had was straight line winds. And there was one main tornado. Well, could be a series of one tornado in the one cell.
In that one particular track.
But the thing that I thought was the big thing, it blew all day. Right?
It was windy
Yeah,
all
it was
day.
windy
all day, and
day.
then we get a line of storms. It's windy again, and then it's windy behind it from a different direction.
It was windy for like the last 5 days, it felt like, to be honest.
And it's
Weird.
not. And it's not like the air is still and calm right now.
No.
Right.
Nor is it going to be tomorrow, Friday, as of this recording. Just a windy period.
And then the temperature, we were
March.
watching the temps. Once that
Right.
line came through,
They dropped like a rock, and that's how you know a front is strong. But yeah, that one particular tornado line, we'll see if we get more information about if it gets cut up or not. But basically, that storm went from north of Caneyville up to Fort Knox. So from Grayson, Hardin up to Meade County. Thankfully, big thing, regardless, no injuries that I've seen reported, so that's always a huge plus. We're also seeing some of that damage in from Hardin County. That's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And I can just kind of put the radar loop in here from that night. So we were watching that main line to the west, and then we kind of got that secondary line to the east. Those fused together, gave it more punch as it rolled through Kentuckiana before it pushed off to the east there.
we mentioned Caneyville and Rhineyville maybe 50
lot.
times that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I
A
just kept
lot.
saying, and then up to Shepherdsville, Fort Knox. I said, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
And regardless of the splitting hairs of whether or not it was one tornado or multiple, dotting tornadoes, damage happened.
That's right.
Damage occurred due to strong wind. Whether or not it was doing this or doing that, I don't know if.
I'll just say one quick thing on surveys. Surveys are complicated, and there's always damage. And then you got to find where is the tornado in the damage, because you have what's called the rear flank downdrift that comes on the side of the tornado. That's more straight line winds. You have the forward flank on the front side. That's more straight line winds. So you have straight line winds next to tornado next to straight line winds. And sometimes we make the width too big. So I've learned my lesson over the years.
I can't imagine what you all have to try to decipher when you do
That's why I
this.
have gray hairs.
Yeah.
I tried
You're putting together a puzzle without all the pieces, and also the pieces are the size of trees and buildings.
In December 2021, these
You
are
have no
two
perspective.
WKU grads right here, right, grads? I took 8 WKU grads 7 days in a row on surveys in Bowling Green. And they were like, I can't believe all you do. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, it's a lot.
Yeah, I tried
we
to
heard a
find-
lot about that too.
Yeah, I tried to find some damage when they went out for Monday morning, and it was impossible. Also, it was dark, so that was very hard. I was seeing some of the storm reports coming in. I was trying to go to those storm reports, and it was almost impossible to find anything just because it was really just a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, so we'll, of course, continue to track that, have more information as the National Weather Service passes it on. But thankfully, we are in a lull of a period here.
Thankfully.
Get out and enjoy this beautiful weather
Yes.
that we have. But we're going to switch gears now to another one big thing across the country and out into the ocean. Major rainfall and flooding across Hawaii last week. And this wasn't something that was even on my radar, pun intended. But I have another meteorologist friend who happened to be down there, and he did kind of a live report. He was down there to vacation.
Oh, wow.
But Mother Nature had other plans. So we do have a story on this. North Shore residents said they did all they could before the storm's arrival to safeguard their properties. Daryl Huff shows us some areas still could not escape the elements. Take a look.
Flooding in Mokulea and Wailua is fed by rain falling on a huge bowl formed by the Koolau and Waianae Mountains. Today, the incessant rain caused ponding over nearly every intersection between Haleiwa and Kaena Point, and the rising water at Dillingham Ranch knocked over a fence as it rushed to the sea. We also saw downed branches from the strong winds from the south State and city crews picked up debris and police patrolled for flooding conditions. We've been driving up and down Farrington Highway in Wailua and Mokolea for about an hour now, and things have gotten progressively worse. We left Wailua just as the roads became impassable and the order came to evacuate Otaki Camp. In Haleiwa, Kale and Derek Gamiao watched warily from their compound that is framed by Poamoho and Paukoila streams.
Like a choke point, and so both rivers are coming down and they're just getting slammed with rubbish and everything that's coming by.
Who would you call if there was a problem?
Nobody. Well, I've been dealing with this for like almost 30 years. But you can see the debris just flowing down and hitting this old bridge.
The family has lived on the property 50 years and has taken it on themselves with their own equipment to clear mangroves and widen the streams.
We did our part from widening it as much as we can without any support, but the issue goes all the way upstream.
Although the state and city have maintained many waterways, the family rarely sees them here.
When there's torrential rains and winds combined with that, it just makes the issue even worse, and which causes flooding even quicker.
Reporting from Oahu's North Shore, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
So yeah, it's been a mess there. And this is actually a graphic I stole from Ginger Z. Because we're an ABC station. But this shows the amount of rain across Hawaii. I mean, up to 44 inches in 5 days.
That's crazy.
Like, I can't even wrap my mind around that. And I don't know if this was considered, do you know anything about Kona lows or anything like that?
I know a little bit.
Okay.
That's their main system.
Was this a Kona low?
Yeah, it was a Kona
okay.
low. Yeah.
So all I can tell is it brings moisture. It basically changes where the moisture is coming from, right?
Yeah, it's a completely changed. Instead of the trade winds, now you have this putting in moisture from two directions,
right?
And it just encompasses the whole 4 or 5 of the islands.
Right,
and it's not good. A lot of those are elevated, just so you know, okay? So those a lot of people don't understand. There's big mountains in Hawaii.
Yeah,
very tall.
Very tall,
yes.
and a lot of those big numbers are much higher. Not to say that the low guys didn't get much, but those really big ones are high.
Yeah.
I mean, 44 inches is something that some people get in a year.
Right.
We're talking 5 days.
Yeah. So, I mean, even some of the lower amounts, still about a foot of rain. And on top of that, apparently they had wind gusts 60 to 90 mile per hour winds too.
Especially up high, yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking power outages across.
Honolulu got 12. Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, that's a lot. So, if anybody had a trip planned to Hawaii, you know,
maybe hold off.
yeah, not the best weather there. But switching gears now, as we know, spring, it's right around the corner. Meteorological spring already began on March 1st, but for astronomical spring, that kicks off this upcoming Friday with the equinox. So in terms of the official start to spring, it's Friday at around 10:45 in the morning, I think. And as we know, the seasons here on Earth, it's caused by the Earth's tilt. So we are getting to the point, actually we've already surpassed it here in Louisville in terms of 12 hours of daylight. So those daylight hours, they're getting longer very quickly, which we like to see.
Yes.
And of course, that means our averages start to go up as well. So this is a little look at the seasons here. The sun's rays over the equator. So most places across the globe getting to around that 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of darkness. But as I mentioned here locally, this is a look at Thursday, sunrise and sunset, 7:48. 7:54, so we've already surpassed those 12 hours.
About the same.
We've been enjoying that, of course. We're warming things up here as we're recording this, pushing all that cold air off to the northeast. But another big thing that I didn't really make into a separate topic here.
Phoenix, y'all good?
Is the heat. They hit triple digits yesterday.
Yeah.
My friends back in Tucson, I saw their 7-day forecast. They have triple digits for probably 4 days, which... Yes, it's Arizona, but this is way too early.
It's
for
March.
that.
I heard the fact that it was the earliest, warmest days they've had ever, I think.
Arizona don't matter. It's March.
Yeah,
The thing that really is the big deal, all right, is you don't have snow cover like normal.
Yeah.
We had one of the lowest snow covers in many years in the Sierras and all the mountain ranges that she knows in Tucson.
Yeah,
and
it's
now
bad.
look at that, the pinkish purple again, not good.
100 plus.
No. So, I mean, yeah, they really rely on that snow cover.
They're worried about fire season. We're in March, and they're scared to dickens about what's going to happen in June, July, August when it really gets hot, and you don't have that snow cover, which helps everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's their water resource, obviously. So they will likely continue to break more records. Here at home, we're warming things up, not to that extent, obviously, but looks like we'll be hitting the 80s by this upcoming Sunday.
Yeah, and that whole flow that you just saw there, that brings, we get warm, and then we get a surge of cold, and then we get warm, and we get a surge of cool, and meanwhile they bake.
Yeah, things are staying hot out there. So be thinking of those folks out west, and that's a good transition to our spring outlook, which it's nothing out of the ordinary here, nothing all too dramatic. So we have our 3-month temperature outlook.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Slightly warmer than average for us. I mean, you know, you're seeing a little bit of orange there. And in terms of 3-month precip outlook, neither here nor there.
The expectation.
I love equal chances.
Right?
Not
Equal chances. You're like, what does that even mean? Like,
I know, I never.
It'll be rainy at times, it'll be dry at times.
They look for patterns, and then there's the people with equal chances.
Yeah. So.
Well, and even then, leaning above average, we're still gonna have swings.
Of course.
So it's like.
Yeah.
Equal chances almost.
This is a great graphic here.
Thank you. I just put it together the other day.
I mean, it just shows you how quick this goes up. It happens.
It is so fast because I always write, you know, the climate normal on my little forecast sheet every day, and it's funny how this time of year you're like, oh, okay, so we're going up throughout the 50s, and then we'll eventually be in the 60s, 70s, and then 80s by the end of May. So
It's nuts.
Yeah.
You gain minutes. Imagine that. You gain minutes with daytime. What happens?
Temperatures get warmer.
The sun warms
sun
us up.
angle also
Shocking.
gets higher. You know.
I mean,
all
3
of the
months
above.
average almost 30 degrees versus March 1st to May. Yeah.
And the lows. Look at those
The
lows
lows
that
to
really
me, I'm like,
go.
yes,
They
get those
stand out
30s
more.
out of there.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
They really stand out.
Oh, goodness. So, yeah, official start of astronomical spring this upcoming Friday. And, of course, it's going to feel like it as well. So temperatures are on the rise. It's going to be a nice, warm weekend.
I'm sure it'll mean
number.
something for your horoscopes. Check those, I guess.
Yeah, we got low 80s on Sunday.
Yes, yeah, so it's going to be warm. But we have several other things that we're going to get to after this break. We have viral videos, we have weather trivia, and, of course, photos of the week. But first, we're going to get a quick word from our sponsor.
Big O Tires has more than 460 locations nationwide. We feel everyone in our community deserves legendary care. Big O is the team you trust.
At Big O, that now is no problem at all.
Right now, get $80 to $120 instant savings on 4 select in-stock tires with installation purchase, plus 0 interest if paid in full within 12 or 6 months.
Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Welcome back to Whether or Not. We are going to start off now with we actually have 2 viral weather videos of the week, but this first one, being that we are in the Ohio Valley, Kentuckiana, if you're watching this here at home, I'm sure many of us saw the buzz on social media on Monday, a fireball in the sky and a loud boom, and people were trying to figure out what the loud boom was caused by. It startled people across parts of Ohio and Pennsylvania. Oh, sorry, that was on Tuesday morning, not Monday. Video from Pittsburgh shows a bright streak moving across the sky. That is a fantastic capture of that there.
Wow.
The addition of cameras, you know, everywhere, good and bad. This is the good.
It was picked up on the geostationary satellite.
Yes.
That was really slick.
Yeah, I saw that on X just the other day. But yeah, confirmed the event that's a meteor. NASA also backed up saying a meteor was spotted above Medina, Ohio, around 9 o'clock in the morning.
I have a friend who actually lives in Cleveland. He works at kind of like a warehouse, and he thought something like just slammed in the building. And then he was like, it was that loud. Yeah,
Wow.
he said you can hear it within within the buildings, within houses. Yeah,
that's
pretty loud.
That's insane.
That's
moving pretty fast.
that's the rock or whatever it is exploding due to all kinds of reasons.
And I think they're
Heat,
starting to
pressure.
see some reports of somebody finding some meteorites out there too. I think one person has found a couple of small meteorites out there.
Did you ever go to that place in Arizona?
I did, the meteor crater.
Tell them about it.
Oh, yeah, there's a big old meteor crater in Arizona. I actually didn't go while I lived there. I went on a vacation with my family when I was 15, and that was what I wanted to do. I was like, can we go to the meteor crater? It's a huge hole in the ground.
No, that's
cool.
what I would want to do in Arizona.
Yes.
How big we talking? Like
Huge.
a mile?
Oh,
I'll show you pictures after.
It is
All right.
enormous.
It's ludicrous.
That's kind of scary.
No, that meteor was much bigger than the one you're seeing there.
Yeah.
If that one hit
Seven
today, it
tons?
would be
Look
the
it
end
up.
time.
Look it up on your phones. It's really unbelievable.
But from meteors to Michigan and the crazy amount of snow that they've gotten up there. So this is a viral weather video of a horsey being saved by the police. This young horse escaped from a farm, ran about a mile north in Monday's blizzard. Troopers, of course, safely guided her to a neighbor's barn until her owner could come and get her. But we've been talking about just the insane amount of snow up there in the UP. I mean, more than 4 feet, 50 inches, you said in Marquette?
Yeah, Marquette probably has broken or is about to break their all-time snowfall record, which has stood for a long time. They had 50 inches in November, 50 in December, 50 in January, 50 in February, and through March 15th, they hit 50 already, and we still got half the month to go.
That's so much snow. I mean, even for up there, an area that's used to getting snow.
It's a lot.
Even I have a friend up there who said, we've had enough.
Yeah.
Those are cold, hardened people.
When they've had
and
enough,
they've
you
had
know
enough.
that's bad.
This is a March snow event too. Like usually
So
it
that
starts
was
to
that
trend
big
a little
blizzard.
down.
So you had a 985 millibar low. So you got a lot of wind. So Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis.
Chaos.
Yeah, I think Marquette had 14. So moderate snow is 5/8 of a mile or less. Heavy snow is a half a mile or less. They had 15 straight hours of a quarter mile or less at Marquette.
That's wild.
So you know it's snowing
Dumping
hard
and blowing
and
around.
blowing. It's not good.
It'd be impossible to measure just from
Yeah,
right now. How many inches per
Yeah,
hour
it's
is
not
that?
good.
4, 5, 8.
The drifts.
In this same system, Friday, I want to say, in Ohio, I was seeing some reports. I think they had over 30 semis flip over from the wind.
That was the windy day, wasn't it?
Yeah, Interstate 90 by Erie, a bunch of interstates and trucks. Not good.
That was wild. But yeah, those are our viral weather videos of this week. And now we're going to toss to our weekly weather trivia segment with meteorologist Matt Breland.
Hey, thanks for watching us on Weather or Not. I'm meteorologist Matt Breland, and you're just in time for this week's edition of Weather Trivia. And I figured since we are now entering a bit of a rainy pattern, I would ask, what do you think is our rainiest month in Louisville? So your options are, is it February, May, June, or November? So what month are we typically the rainiest? You may think it's a trick question, but it is not. The correct answer is May. That is the correct answer. Typically, May is whenever we do see the most rainfall on average in Louisville, usually over 5 inches, anywhere from 5.14 to 5.18 inches of rainfall for Louisville. So keep the umbrellas on standby. Usually Derby time is a rainy time of the year for us. So we are going to likely start predicting more rain chances. That's weather trivia for this time. Guys, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Matt. That was something that we knew because of Derby. And don't get John started on his... He has a rant for Doug Profit. Move the Derby.
No, I mean, the peak climatology, honest to goodness, the peak climatology for tornado in Kentucky is the first weekend in May.
And when's the Derby?
I always said, I wish, when they set this up, I wish they had done September, October. It never rains.
It would have been beautiful, yeah.
The word climatology did exist
I know.
back then.
I'm just always glad when Mallory says it's going to be sunny on Derby Day. Thank you, God.
Usually it rains at some point, but we'll see what happens this year.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And now we're going to wrap things up as we always do with our viewer photos of the week. Austin, what'd you pick out this
We
week?
got some good photos of the week for this particular segment. One is of lightning. Someone captured lightning, and apparently they stood at their door getting pelted by rain for many minutes to get this photo. And we recommend people still taking shelter, but thank you for the photo. It's really, really nice. I love lightning. Lightning is one of the coolest things in the world, even though it's hotter than the the surface of the sun. Lovely sunset from Ekron, sent in by Nathan Sipes. This might be altered a bit, but still, it's really, really pretty. And when we were all waking up with snow on the ground on Monday, we all felt like this. Monday sent in by Michael Montgomery. Now,
He's great.
I would not typically go in this direction for photos of the week because I don't want it to become a meme segment. But this is how I felt, at least on Monday.
Michael's a rock star. Follow him on X. He's great. He's got drone photos all the time. He's a rock star. Michael, you rock.
So yeah, I thought this. It made me chuckle. I hope it makes you chuckle. Send us more photos. We get so many of them on that group. It's awesome. You can text them to that number, our Facebook group, Kentucky, Indiana Cloud Watchers, or email us at yourphotos@whs11.com. I love looking at them, and you might even show up on here. Do I need to expand to more than 3? Do I need to do like 5? I don't know how much time.
Depends on how good the photos are. I mean, we do get a lot.
There's a bunch of good sunrise, sunsets from this past weekend.
Yeah. So we always appreciate them, and if we don't get them here, or if we can't show them here, we can always show them during the newscast.
Exactly. Our producers are smart to that group. They like to show them, especially they've been showing them on weekends, past 2 weekends. We've been busy lately, but like when we're not busy, they like to show them too.
Right. Well, all right.
That's another one down.
Another one down.
By fast.
Springtime weekend on the way. 70s, 80s. I know I have plans to be outside.
That's big plans? Big plans?
I think I'm going to go to a Lou City match on Saturday. I just want to sit outside.
Some footy.
So just something to, and then probably Sunday yard work because I own a house now. So that's what I have to do.
I might try to walk my cats.
You think they'll walk?
No, they're probably
okay.
Well, they're young. They're young enough. If you really want to do it, get started now.
They might be terrified.
Just great weather Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get out there. Have fun.
Yes. Yeah, and enjoy the quieter weather that we have. So thanks again for joining us, and we will see you back here next time.